Welcome to Hardin
Hello.
Local Weekly. We're glad you're here on October 7th. We hope you guys are staying dry. We're looking forward to talking today with the Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association. We have Mike Brantingham and Jasmine with us. We also have the rest of the guys. Let me get them everybody over here. Good to see all your all's pretty faces. Handsome. Y'all look great.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Not too bad yourself.
Well, before we get started, you know how we like to start, at least recently. Just want one thing that y'all did in the past week in Hardin County that you enjoyed. I know that for me, it was me and Aiden took one of his friends and we went down to the Thomas Dairy Farm on Saturday night. We also went and ate at my mom's house, dad's, and mom made her mom's famous beef stroganoff. It was a real good day.
Nice.
Scott?
We went to Grayson County. You know, my son is drum major in North Hardin, so they had a competition there, and they had some great bands play, and we walked away with a second place champion. So that was the highlight of the entire week and weekend.
Right. Nate?
I went to 4 pumpkin patches in one day, which I never thought that would happen, but turned out to be. They all 4. I mean, I like all 4. It's amazing that I could, if there was a sidewalk on the south side, I could walk to Crawford's because it's right around the corner, and I had never ever been. So I did that. Thomas Dairy, I was out there about an hour before Phil was. Bought pumpkins out there. I checked out the pumpkin wagon for the first time, which is very close to Ring Road. And we got some huge mums from them, and went over to Meek and Walters, and they had a ton of stuff. So I think all 4 bring something different to the area. I'm sorry I didn't get out to the Vine Grove one, that maybe this weekend, and make it at that and the Haunted Theater. But it was nice getting to know these people. All of them follow us, they follow me. They appreciate the support and watching all the people be out there, because Thomas Dairy and Meek and Walters, especially at Will Crawford's, they were all booming. So it was a good day.
It's great, John.
I went over to Bird Whistle Book, picked up a couple of books over there. Also dropped off a lot of children's books for them to sell. So they'll accept like donations for children's books, things like that. They don't pay you for it, but I mean, that's fine. Like, we were going to donate them to Goodwill, but at least, you know, they can find a really good home there and then kind of support that local business too.
Nice.
Awesome. What about you guys? Jasmine and Mike?
Well, I finally got to take a visit at the new butcher shop and buy some wonderful food. So I saw that they were on your podcast last week, so I wanted to shout them out again. It was great.
Oh, yeah. They were. Don't even get me started or get us started on it. You know, we'll talk too long. What about you, Mike?
Well, I spent the weekend preparing for this event we have coming up, the Parade of Homes. So I was pretty much working all weekend at one of our homes. And then Sunday, we celebrated my daughter's 2nd birthday here at our house. So it was Parade of Homes prep and then birthday party for my little daughter this weekend. So it was a good weekend.
Nice.
That sounds great. All right, guys. Well, we'll move into the special guest segment. And if you're looking for business news or the events, that'll come up after we have a brief conversation about the Parade of Home. I've got 2 special guests joining me. Mike Brantingham is the Home Builders Association president. Go, Mike.
Yeah.
And Jasmine, who I'm assuming you manage and the associations and coordinate day to day.
Yes.
Is that your role there?
That is my role. My official job title is the executive officer, but it entails a lot of planning, a lot of just organizing all the events that we've got going on, and then keeping up with all of our membership.
Great. Mike and I actually go way back. We met as homeschooled kids in the 90s. Our parents connected us. And somehow we both ended up working locally in business and community projects. So it's kind of a full circle moment. Yep. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
Let's start there. Mike, how did you find your way from those homeschooling days into home building and eventually leading the association?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a classic, you know, that's what Dad did. So starting out at a very young age, you know, I was out there on the job sites with him, you know, helping out. And then it just that just continued all through my life until, you know, it was time for me to make a decision on what I was going to do, you know, what my career was going to be. And it was just kind of a no-brainer. I'd put in the time at that point. I kind of had, I would say some or most of the knowledge that was needed to get into this kind of a career. And so, you know, that's what I decided to do, is just kind of follow in Dad's footsteps. And, you know, I'm glad I did. It's been awesome. It's been a really good thing. So
that's great. And Jasmine, what drew you to the association side of home building and things? What's your background and what does your day-to-day kind of look like briefly to keep all this organized?
I was born and raised in Hardin County. So I grew up here as a child, went to high school here, college here, and basically kind of stayed in with banking and mortgage industry. And I was always around the association, but through like a sponsorship, more of an associate type role for many years. But the opportunity arose for me to take the leap and be the executive officer. And that happened about 3.5 years ago. And so it was an easy transition for me because I kind of knew what the association was about. And it kind of was so easy because I was born and raised here. I knew everybody anyway. And so it just was an easy transition for me.
Yeah. And let me go back, Phil, on, how I got into the association. I touched on how I got into the home building. The association, I was kind of like Jasmine, I was around it also with, Dad was he was a past president, and he's always been a very active member of the association. So I started going to the association, like membership meetings, when I was 12, 13, all the way up. And it really was cool to see, a group of guys that you could say are, competitors, or, even tradesmen that are members that come. You have 3 or 4 different, HVAC guys, but to see that group of guys come together and not look at each other, as competitors, but, as we're all in this together, that just really stuck with me. And I always knew, like, man, I want to be a part of this. I want to be in this group of guys. And they did a great job of welcoming me in there, even as a younger kid. As soon as I would walk into one of those meetings, guys would make a point to come over and, shake my hand and talk to me and, ask what I've been working on with Dad and stuff. So, that's kind of how I got into the association. I wanted to touch on that a little bit.
That's great. For anyone, Mike, this is for you. For anyone that isn't familiar with the core mission of Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association, could you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, the association, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. They do a great job of promoting the builders, the registered builders that are members. They hold them to a higher standard, and then the tradesmen. They do a good job of promoting these certain tradesmen that are members and the registered builders that are members. But they also the association does a great job of protecting the everyday consumer, people that hire these tradesmen and hire these builders. The association does a great job of just kind of being like the middleman. If the registered builders and the tradesmen are having issues, they're there to help work through it with them. And then also, we all know how business is. There's issues that will arise for the consumer, and the association also does a great job of making sure that those issues get resolved, that all the parties at the end of the day, everybody is happy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good core mission that they have, and I've seen it in action. And they do a great job of that.
We offer a good directory. If anyone's looking to do remodel jobs or needing an electrician or a plumber, and they don't know who to call, who they can trust, they can always reach out to us, and we can give some referrals on, our members, on, the ones that, that we can verify all their like reference checks and stuff like that to kind of protect them from any issues that may arise in the future.
Yeah, you know how it is nowadays. There's, when construction takes off, you have a lot of guys like jump into this career or whatever you want to call it, and that haven't put in the work, and they don't have really a good track record. Whereas the association, a lot of our members have been members for a long time, or even the ones that have just recently joined, they provide us a list of references and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, they are a good directory for anybody that's looking for a builder or a tradesman or anything like that.
All right. I put at hardinlocal.com, which is basically just our link tree page. I put the link to your guys' website and to buy tickets for the parade of homes. I put it out there. So awesome. I'm assuming, is that a directory on the website too? Or is that a good place?
It is. It says like find a builder, find a contractor, and you can search by the classification. Okay.
Well, you answered my second question, Mike, in the first question, which it was, how does it support both local builders and the broader community, which you've already answered. Yeah. So we'll move on. Jasmine, I got a couple questions for you. Mm-hmm. From your side, what kind of programs or networking events happen with the association around the
Yeah,
year?
obviously, our biggest event of the year is the Parade of Homes every October. We'll talk more about that in detail later, but we also do the home design and remodeling show in the spring. We also have, like Mike said, membership meetings, mix and mingle events. We do golf scrambles. We try to do anything that we like ideas. So any events that we can add, we can do that too.
If there's someone new to the area or wants to get involved with the association, what's the best way to connect with you all and to figure out how to do that?
Yeah, it would just be to call the office. They could visit our website and find, basic details. They can, view all of our social media. But basically, if they wanted to just give us a call, they could chat with me and I could answer any questions they may have.
Okay, that's great. Let's move on to talk about the Parade of Homes specifically. Let me pop this thing up here. I'll leave it up
Cool.
since it fits. That's great. All right.
You can cover us up if you need
Yeah.
We don't mind. No,
I'm not going to do that.
that's okay. So I'll go ahead and start about with the Parade of Homes. It's coming up next week. It starts the 17th through the 19th, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do like 3 days. That way, if you've got something going on one day, you can catch it on the other. It is a scattered site parade, so it's all over Hardin County. And this year we have 8 homes that will be presented by the registered builders. And you can start at any of the 8 houses. You don't have to start in a particular order. You can, buy your tickets on Eventbrite using this link here, or you can search it online. You can purchase the tickets at any of the houses. You don't have to have a ticket online to come. Friday it starts at 6 o'clock and will be open that night till 9 o'clock. And the builders really like that Friday evening slot because you can see the houses in the light, after the sun goes down. So that's really pretty. And then Saturday will open up again at 10 a.m. Until 4 p.m. And then Sunday we'll start at 12 and wrap up the event at 4.
Are there for people that are familiar with the Parade of Homes, is there anything different you're doing this year? We
try to keep things about the same. I will say something unique this year that has never happened before in the history of the Parade of Homes is all 8 homes are for sale. So that's something that's neat. So, and they're all different. Every house is completely different this year. We have a lot of different size homes, starting very small and then going very large. And then there's a lot of different styles. I think every house is unique in its own way.
Yeah.
So every one of them's for sale. That's interesting.
Every home is for sale.
And I do know I wanted to put up some pictures, but the home builders are still working, I hear, very tirelessly to get these houses done.
They were trying to get, before the
ahead.
rain came in, they were trying to get all their landscaping done. So hopefully we'll be getting the videos out this week and we'll be posting those on social media. Yeah.
Cool. I'll make sure to share those as well.
Okay.
So Mike, from a builder's perspective, what is it like preparing a home for the parade?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's kind of stressful. You want these homes to, be perfect. That there's going to be a lot of people walking through, a lot of people critiquing your work. So, you put a little extra love on these homes. We try to do a good job on every home, of course. But on this one, we're doing a lot of cool new, little different styles and stuff. So it can be, new trends. And we're trying to showcase, a lot of our tradesmen, they come up with some good ideas of what they can do or new products that they have that they want to showcase. So we try to work with them and try to incorporate those ideas into the home as well. So it's stressful, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy putting something together to show the community. And I really enjoy, showcasing the other contractors' work, all their hard work that goes into the home. But yeah, stressful and fun at the same time.
You mentioned design trends and building. And I know just from knowing you guys and your family, big on the innovation side of home building too. Are there any standout or new trends or innovations that visitors are going to see this year?
Yeah. I think the main thing is a lot of like the color schemes. We kind of we've been through a couple different cycles of colors. It was for a while there, it was like the stark white and black, before that, back in the day, it was real dark browns and, the oil rub bronze, water, faucets and stuff like that. Now I'm seeing a trend towards like lighter, warmer colors. So we're going to be showcasing a lot of that with some cool, different, a lot of our plumbing fixtures. They've launched some new finishes on those. It's like a champagne gold. So you'll see a lot of that in these homes, I believe. Also, I think space, like with the way construction has gotten, materials have gotten so expensive, we're trying to, be creative and capitalize on every space in the home that we can. Back in the day, I know, Phil, you and I probably remember back in the day, it was bonus rooms over garages.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the thing. Well, for a while there, you didn't see as many of those. We are trying to kind of get back to that and use that space over a garage, insulate them better. I know back in the day, they were always hot and always cold. So, insulating them better and creating a nice conditioned space that otherwise would have just been useless attic in a way. So we've got that in our home. I think you'll see a lot of that. I think you'll see a lot of basements that have been finished, trying to just be creative, provide the consumer with more space, but trying to keep that cost down for them as well at the same time.
Oh, that's interesting, but it makes sense. It does. So, I already asked that question. Do you guys need any help as far as like with the other? I know there's probably other builders and people in home building, but do you guys need volunteers or sponsors for this event still?
We've had to close off our sponsors because of we had to produce our magazine. So we're very proud of our magazine that comes out every year. You can pick those up at any of the houses. But so basically what the community support that I'm asking for is just, if you see some videos on Facebook and you like it, interact with it, like it, love it, share it. Just follow us on social media. And most importantly, just come tour all the 8 houses. That's the main thing. We pride ourselves on all the different types of advertising that we do for this. And the sponsors that are involved will be helping work the homes to showcase, their membership and their involvement. So we have a great group of people that help with us. And so this event will hopefully go off without a hitch.
Yeah, I'd encourage people to, if you see, Phil, firsthand, we're doing it right now, social media and how powerful it is. We put out a lot of stuff onto social media, but if the community can like she said, you see a post, just share that. I talk to a lot of people that come through the Parade of Homes, and social media is a lot of the ways that they heard about it and the reason why they showed up. So, this is such a cool event for the community, for a lot of local companies, not just the builders. There's a lot of local guys that put a lot of work into this as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if nothing else, if you can't make it, at least share the post, and I'm sure somebody out there will see that, and maybe they'll attend and help support this great local event.
And maybe even
we're getting to be like 10 days away, so the videos are going to be start pumping out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. They're a good reminder for people too that have friends who are tradesmen to ask their friends. Do you have anything going on at one of these homes? And if you do, let me know so I can let my friends know.
Yeah,
because that's really what we're about here. And I just popped the QR code up there on our screen, on the top one. If you scan that, it'll take you to hardinlocal.com, which will also allow you to find the website for the Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association, which is Lincoln Trail Homebuilders.com.
Correct.
So perfect, Mike and Jasmine. I want to thank you guys both for joining us today.
No, thank you for having us on. We love to spread the word about our Parade of Homes.
Yep.
Exactly. I still remember like your dad letting me come out there probably 15 years ago when I was doing more, like the audio visual and tech in homes, and he let me come out there and set up. And that meant a lot. So appreciate that. And I know that's how you guys run the association. So it's awesome to see what Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association is doing to keep our local building community strong. So do you guys have anything else? Before we let you go, let's check the chat, see if anybody said. There's some comments, but nothing much related to this right now. So I think we're good.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys coming on. I'll go ahead and remove you so you don't get stressed about, can they still hear me?
All right. Thanks, Phil.
And we'll talk to you. See you all.
See ya.